سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل رب زدني علما. قال الإمام النووي رحمه الله تبارك وتعالى ونفعنا بعلومه في الدارين. قال باب في التقوى. So this is a new chapter which Imam Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala mentions in his book, the chapter of taqwa. So probably we mentioned on several occasions, and we'll mention again, what is the meaning of taqwa? So generally people understand taqwa to mean the fear of Allah. So actually taqwa, it comes from wiqaya. And fear in the Arabic language actually is khawf. So we'll explain the correlation, but first let's understand the basic meaning of taqwa from the linguistic standpoint. And that is, it comes from waqaya. Waqaya is a barrier. So taqwa is basically, according to the Sharia mustalah, or the Sharia terminology, is to create between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's displeasure a barrier. In other words, how do we protect ourselves from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's displeasure and the consequences thereof? That can only be done in one way, and that is to obey His orders and abstain from His prohibitions. And of course, the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an important element in that equation, because if we fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we would probably exercise taqwa. However, simple fear is not, is not actually what it comes to play here, because not only we fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we have such an overwhelming love and awe and reverence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the last thing that we would want to happen is that our Lord, our Creator, our Sustainer, Allah Jalla would be displeased with us. So it's more of the fear of His displeasure than fear of a physical consequence, actually, particularly for those who have a proper connection and knowledge, and as we say, ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant me and all of us. قال الله تعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that all people who believe, all the people of Iman, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Whenever we find this, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, it is a call to the people of Iman. So it's a very important message which always ensues after this, after this nida, as we call it, after this address. O you people who have believed, people who have exercised Iman, ittaqullah haqqa tuqatihi. Exercise taqwa. And rather than saying simply fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as He should be feared, which is generally what they translate that, but I'm going to always use the word taqwa, to exercise taqwa as it has its right to be exercised, or as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves to be dealt with in terms of taqwa towards Him. Now, if we look at how the taqwa should be exercised towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's probably, if not definitely, out of the reach of most of us, if not all of us. I mean, can we exercise taqwa as really Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves to be feared and to be revered and to be obeyed and to be, so that's very difficult. So therefore the next verse clarifies, to what extent does that connect to me, to us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala further says, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. So fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exercise taqwa to the extent that you are able. Otherwise, as He actually deserves to be, revered and obeyed, that's probably not capable. We're not capable of doing that. So, but we are capable of doing what we are capable of doing. وَلَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give us a burden that we can't bear. For example, Nabi Sallallahu says, pray standing. So if you can't stand, then you can sit. But if you can't stand and you sit, this is inappropriate and unacceptable. So we have to differentiate what is our istita'at and what is our actual and real istita'at, our ability. And we shouldn't, we should actually exercise, our ability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, and don't be lazy or lackadaisical in performing. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and all of us tawfiq, and we'll hear further ayats and further ahadith on the subject, inshallah, as the days go by. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Hours, as a professional, improving the sound system. Spend a lot of